go to a long answer, but I think there is a challenge when it comes to Latino-based stories in television, because it always, I mean, and we were well aware of this on Queen of the South, that it's a lot of times it's a bank about, you know, drug trafficking and just kind of that stereotypical kind of, you know, Latino, you know, things that we, you know, think.
Hola, Eduardo. Hola, Demian. Hi, thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to talk to you both and to talk about Satanic Hispanics. It's a beautiful, beautiful project. So I'm going to start with you, Eduardo. What was about this idea, you know, the Mike's idea to combine all these short movies that made you jumping right away to this project?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was the name, you know, it was, you know, they were like, hey, we're going to do I get approached a little bit about, you know, doing anthology movies here and there. And I've done a few, and they're usually a good experience, you know, and also, you know, it gives you a lot of freedom because you can do whatever you want, which is very rare, you know, when you're just kind of a director for hire. So, I was in, and then they told me the name, and I was like, oh my God, yes, of course I have to do it. I mean, you know, it's just really, you know, it's wrong, but it's right. You know what I mean? And it kind of gave us the ability to do anything, you know, like that name really kind of just says, do whatever you want, and we'll just, you know, it'll somehow fit into it. So, and also knowing Alejandro Brugués and Mike Mendez, I know it was going to be crazy and fun, and so far it has been.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun watching. I was like,
thanks.
So good, very, very good. Ahora voy para Demian. Demian, ¿cómo te sientes haciendo parte de un proyecto como este, que hablas, tiene diferentes estilos de diferentes directores latinos? ¿Cómo fue para ti participar?
Sí, bueno, primero es hermoso que lo hayamos podido concretar, porque cuando Alejandro vino con la propuesta, por lo general cuando te asocias con muchos directores para hacer algo autogestionado o algo medio independiente, son proyectos que tardan muchos años y por lo general se pinchan, no se terminan haciendo porque hay algún director que se baja porque tiene algún compromiso. Y lo que yo primero pensé que iba a suceder con este proyecto era que no se iba a hacer. Entonces le dije que sí a Alejandro y le dije, mirá, yo no quiero que te enojes conmigo si yo de acá a unos meses me bajo. No me voy a enojar. Y yo no lo conocía a Alejandro y me cayó muy, muy bien. Como decimos acá en Argentina, me comió la cabeza. Todo el tiempo hablándome del proyecto y lo veía tan entusiasmado que bueno, me metió de prepo dentro del proyecto. Y después cuando vi el resultado final, los cortos, y después cuando vi la repercusión que empezó a tener y que va a tener un estreno, estoy como que no lo puedo creer lo bien que quedó y lo bien que le está yendo. Y estoy completamente feliz, por suerte.
Qué bueno. Eduardo, what did you bring from your previous projects, such as Lucifer, American Horror Stories, para El Vampiro? It's amazing. I love that one. So.
Oh, thanks. The thing that I, you know, that I brought the most was Hemky Madera, you know, because I had met him on Queen of the South, and he was, you know, he usually plays serious characters, and I just knew that he always brought the character in Queen of the South. He always brought a light side to it, and I was like, this, you know, he's just so talented. And him and I became friends, and we were always, you know, joking around and let's make a movie together. So like when this opportunity came up, especially when the script, you know, somebody sent me the kind of the outline for the script, I was just like, man, I knew exactly that I gotta get Hemky to do this for me. So, you know, I asked him, and he read it, and he was like, I'm there. And, you know, it was hard because it's very low budget production, and, you know, he's a real movie actor, or television and movie actor. So he's, you know, I know he's used to a certain, you know, quality of just production. And he was really cool. He understood, and he never complained about anything. And I knew that he was going to come in and just do a great job. And then he found Patricia and asked her to come in to be his wife. And it was cool because they were friends for a long time, and they hadn't really worked together very much. And so it was, she came out, I didn't even know her, and she was just so great and so generous with her time. And they have such great chemistry already because they've known each other for so long. So it was kind of like just bringing this old, this couple back together that had been, that they had been, you could really see that there was like they had been around for a long time, these two, you know what I mean? And I just felt, really good about that. And so that was really the big thing that I brought, because I rarely get to do comedy, in television. And so for me, it was just like, let's see what Hemky and Patricia and the rest of the actors can do.
Yeah, what I like a lot about this project, because you guys bring your unique style to it. Lo que más me gusta, Demian, es que ustedes los traen esta visión única que tiene cada uno. Y volviendo a ti, Demian, ¿cuál fue la inspiración para hacer su parte, que también lo vi, que se llama También lo vi?
Sí, en realidad yo creo que viene de las películas de Hellraiser, del universo de Clive Barker, pero no encuentro algo específico para decir, lo saqué de acá. Seguramente le he robado a todas mis influencias y creo que no puedo encontrar todavía a quién le robé más, pero creo que le he robado un poquito más a Clive Barker para este tipo de historia. Y bueno, sí, un poco también fue decidir hacer el mismo estilo que Terrify. En un momento me vi tentado a hacer algo también como una comedia de horror, sobre todo por el formato que te brinda esa posibilidad, que es hacer un corto. Pero entendí enseguida de que, digamos, le había ido muy bien a Terrify y yo estaba en el proyecto y la gente iba a esperar algo por ese estilo. Entonces enseguida dije, no, voy a hacer algo más de terror y respetar un poco el estilo de Aterrados, eso sí.
Sí, qué bueno. Otra cosa, another thing that caught my attention was like the practical effects versus the CGI. So, ¿cuánto fue? I believe the El Vampiro, both of stories use a lot of practical effects. How was like the challenge in this situation? Eduardo, primero.
Well, I mean, it's always a challenge, but for my movie, I knew that I could get away with a lot of stuff because it had, it's funny, and the effects don't have to be. I'm not doing what Demian is doing, which is like it has to be completely realistic, or else you lose the audience. So I had a lot of fun with it, and just kind of overplaying the blood and just ripping heads off and just being very violent. And just using some, when you don't have the money, you can't really rip an arm off that looks good, then you use a shadow. That's kind of my thing. It just be creative and just have fun with it, and it, so it has like this. My film has like an old movie kind of feel, like a lot of practical, just in camera stuff. And we just wanted to keep it that way. I think the only CGI in my movie is the fire, because we couldn't light Hemky on fire for real, and especially inside a church, that would have been not good. So but it's like it was not hard. It was like it's I knew how much money I had for this movie, and you kind of figure that out. Okay, we're gonna have effects, but they don't have to be practical, realistic looking effects, which is really the most, the really hard thing to do. But yeah, so it was just basically, be smart and be creative and have fun.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I get the same as Eduardo. The budget that we had, and it was not a lot, and I knew that I needed to deliver the movie, the segment, as soon as possible. So the post-production was, I thought about the post-production. I could not complicate myself doing something for VFX that I couldn't manage. Even I made my own VFX of the segment, but it was eye replacement, the screen on the laptop, and erasing the wires. But I choose to do it with the monster, a practical monster. I choose the idea to, okay, this monster is like it was run over with a train, so he don't have movements, little movements that gonna complicate with the post-production. And obviously when I wrote it, I thought to not complicate with post-production. But even I think the story is the story is worth thinking. When I wrote it, I was thinking to not complicate with the facts.
Yeah, I love this idea that one story is telling the other stories, like the way that it was constructed. I think was really, really cool. Also, there's questions that how much, like especially you, Eduardo, being in this business for quite some time, and that how much is already open up for the Latinos, not just in front of the camera and also in behind the cameras. Do you think you're in a good standing, or we still have a good way to go?
I mean, we always have a way to go, just representing, not only Latinos, but women, other nationalities, other races, because, more stories, unique stories, the better it is, it's just the way it is, so, and everybody, there's no matter where you are from in the world, there's always a good story to tell, so, but I think, I am seeing, like we are seeing some progress, just Latino showrunners now. And, it's like, there's, there was a show called, I did a show called Queen of the South. And that was like kind of for a while, kind of the only game in town. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was just kind of, and they would bring in like really good actors from all over Mexico and all over South America and Spain. And I really got immersed in these people that I had seen some of them on, Spanish television, but I rarely saw them, in American television. So, and they brought in, in the third, well, they had, Spanish, Latina showrunners pretty much all the time. So I learned from that show that, that is important. You know what I mean? We tried to have as much Latino representation in that show as possible. And that's part of why, why I got the start of my career in television, is because Robert Rodrigues, he started El Rey, and the first show was Dusk Till Dawn. And he was like, I need you to come in and direct. And, gave me that opportunity to kind of prove myself in the television world. But yeah, I mean, I think we're making progress. I mean, you do see more, Latino-based movies, more actors, I think, working. There's always, even on the TV shows I work at, there's always a rule to try to bring in as many diverse, characters as possible. So, we're making ground. I've met a lot of, good Latino actors out there that are finally kind of getting, into the mix. So, I definitely feel it's getting better. Still a long way to go. I think that there's not to, go to a long answer, but I think there is a challenge when it comes to Latino-based stories in television, because it always, and we were well aware of this on Queen of the South, that it's a lot of times it's about, drug trafficking and just kind of the stereotypical kind of, Latino, things that we, think that people are interested in. So there is I've been trying to develop some TV shows, Latino-based TV shows, for a long time now, and it just seems like every time you get really close, you don't get that green light. You know what I mean? And I've talked to other Latino showrunners and writers, and that's the same thing. Like they get to a point where you're like, okay, we got it, and then oh no, they're not going to go. So we still need to see more Latino shows and about Latinos on television. But you know, I think we're getting there, and it's refreshing to see, you know, movies from all over the world now kind of coming in on Netflix and, you know, other places, that it is truly becoming like a worldwide you know, market. And I think people are realizing that, you know, diverse stories are important, and also people like them. People like to see different parts of the world and stuff, you know.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah.
Queen of the South, you work with Alice Braga. I'm from Brazil, so
Alice, yeah.
Alice is
I love, and that's one, you know, I'm friends with her too, and I'm trying to do, we've been trying to get a TV show with her as the star, not, you know, something different, but it's challenging. It's hard, you know. It's you know, right now we got our foot in the door, but we still need still got a long way to go.
Yeah, I think this year is a good year for the Latino community, because we have some shows like we have With Love from Gloria. We have now we have like Blue Beetle. We have This Fool. There is different. There are some other movies coming in, like
Dolores Roach on,
which is amazing.
Amazon. Yeah. That was fun to do.
That was really cool, like different ones, and then we still have some other movies that I already watched, but I cannot talk about yet.
Yeah. So it's it's you know, and again, Demian, like, you know, proves that there's so much talent everywhere, and like, and the, you know, the new, that it's just a unique point of view that, you know, that's what we're looking for. That's what the audiences are looking for, you know, no matter where it is, you know, coming from the world, you know.
Exactly. You know, I just want to thank you guys so much for your time. Demian, muchas gracias. Eduardo, muchas gracias. Thank you so much. Muito obrigada. And I hope we have more projects like this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the support. We really appreciate it.
Of course, I'm always here. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.